What's up guys, get ready to battle and welcome to part 9 of my guide explaining every single rift area. Now, I'm currently standing at a place that's different than the title says, because the title says we're going to Stillgore Chateau, but I'm currently standing in front of Barrier Street. Why is that? Because this is the actual technical start to the area. First step, you need to actually enter this Barrier Street. Here you will now see these purchasable items that you could do because Shen is still the most rich. This is the technically thing you need to complete for completing the village plaza, but Shen's auctions, you have to make a bid on an item, and these bids are expensive. This dead cat food, 7 million for the minimum bid. Rift Prism, 15 million. Even Punch Card, still 500,000. Placeable Fairy Soul, it's 1 million. These are very expensive that you have to bid on. And it doesn't say you have to win, but it does say you have to bid, which means you still need more money to bid on it, which is unfortunate. Once you get through Baker Street, though, on the other side is when you access this area full of lasers and on islands, and along with a house in the distance. You have to get to that house. Now, if you talk to Phaser here, Phaser will allow you to teleport to the end at the cost of motes, but if you complete the parkour, then they let you do it for free. So if you do it once, legit, they let you do it for free every other time. So you can either spend the motes to teleport, or you can just try to do parkour, like I'm going to show right now. You have the laser here, which will fly you in a direction, so you probably need to be careful of being hit by it. You can wait to do jumps. And also you have the ability to teleport, which makes it not as bad. Meaning if you do fall off, you can teleport to save yourself. Fortunately, sometimes you have to teleport really far. You have to maybe just wait on a little bit, do a little bit of jump rope, and sometimes you fail. But it's fine, because it will be worth it in the end. Once you get near the end, you will need to be extra careful not to fall off after making it all the way towards the end, like I just did. Here we go, I've made it to the end totally legitly. I did not do it once and then just teleport to the end. Once you do, you'll get to this island. This island will have deer. A deer will be able to bring you to the actual next section, but for that, you need a boat. Unfortunately, we don't have a boat. If only we knew a guy who had a boat. Also, before you get the guy who has a boat, go into this house on the second floor. Is just the last fragment. It's just chilling here. This is how you get the last fragment of Montezuma's soul. It says, hey, are you looking at this castle? All you need is a flying boat. Which if you don't have the flying boat in your inventory, you can't actually take it. But you can get a flying boat from Reed, back at the Black Lagoon. Over here, Reed will actually let you buy, as you see in their inventory, a boat. This boat will let you be able to go. This boat will let you fly over to complete the area. Now, it does cost 25,000 motes, so it is a pretty hefty price. But hopefully, you've collected enough resources and you've completed enough of the cruxes to be able to just have enough motes laying around, which is what happened to me, to later actually get to the end. Once you've gotten this rift boat and you talk to Deer, Deer will now let you use the flying boats, and you come over to this section. Now this NPC right here is the reason why most people are still grinding the rift. There is a Slayer here. This Slayer has different resources you can get. This is the only Slayer you can do in the rift, and you can only do it in the rift. You can kill vampires here. You do need to be in the rift to do that, though. So you should probably know a lot about this area, how it works, and how to be prepared for it. Step 1 you should do is after climbing up the little staircase, you see this large castle that's similar to the one in the ruins. Make a right. Go down this path. Once you go down the path, then you will encounter this eye. This eye you want to get, because then you don't need to go to do the parkour or spend money. You can just immediately teleport here. Which means technically you don't even need to do the parkour if you're just willing to teleport once, but teleport here, you'll be able to instantly teleport to this area from the Wizard's Tower, saving you a lot of real life time. Once we've done that, let's explain how the Slayers work, how the mobs that are here work, and how you should benefit yourself for the Slayers. Step 1, the mobs that are here. We have three main mobs. Mob number 1 is the Splatter. This is the crux of this area. This Crux's gimmick. It doesn't actually stop you from killing it. It stops you from living. You hear that? You see it's 160. We hit it a few times. I am now suddenly lost a lot of hearts. Why is that? Because this area actually cares about how many hearts you have. If you run out of hearts, you also die, but you get teleported to prison instead of leaving the area. What this guy does is he will take 4 different groups of 2 hearts from you. He will throw it on the ground nearby, and you will be injured. Also, notably, nearby ones also get aggro from you doing that. You can walk over them to pick them up. You will see these heart particles, and that will let you be able to actually not stay dead. You keep killing them, and you get these spider cruxes. You have to sometimes teleport to get them. I will fit. There we go. You can use 32 of these spider cruxes combined with the heirloom to create a Chromonomicon, giving you an additional 30 seconds, 5 intelligence, and 1 speed, along with the ability to get 20 time and 20 fortune from killing these spider cruxes. That is their main use. But luckily over here, in case you have too many of them, there's a moat scrubber here that you can give all your items to. You can give these extra spider cruxes. Now, as you also saw, I got a bunch of hemo vibes. These hemo vibes are dropped from vampires and other things here, and this is a whole additional collection on this area. We have the hemo vibes, which gives you access to a vampire minion, which to kill you need a bat person helmet to get a vampire minion, so it's kind of expensive, and you just need more and more hemo vibes to upgrade them. Hemo vibes also have other things in this collection. Personally, what I also have is over here. Also, notably, the collection ramps up in terms of a normal collection instead of a rift collection. Like the max one here is a 9th, and it's 250,000, unlike the other ones, which max out at like 100 and they only go up to 4. So it is a lot more of you're expected to grind these resources. Once you hit 250, you get a talisman for 5 seconds. It also gives you a real life benefit. So these are able to have a use for it. The other 2 mobs aren't too special. We have these thralls who come and attack you, who you want to do this island's gimmick to be able to properly fight them. This you get hemo vibes and vampiric melons. Melons are useful for a future thing, but mainly useful in late game to sell. There's also these fledglings, which are fledgling vampires. You hit them down, and you also get the same resources from them. Now, as you may notice, I'm doing 38 damage every time I hit them, even though my weapon only gives me 5 damage, and I shouldn't have that much damage to do. And why is that? Well, first of all, I don't know why it's doing 5, it should be doing 6. But there are these blood effigies around. If they have been completed, then they show up like this, and you can continue the timer by clicking once to bring it up to 20 minutes. For each blood effigy that is activated, every single person here gets 2 bonus damage, meaning it's a lot easier to kill these mobs, to kill the slayers, to kill things in general. We have one on the outer island that's nearby the portal. We have one inside this fallen house you can bring up. Also for this, I'm assuming you know what the ruins look like, because this is a basically parallel of the ruins in the overworld. So I'm assuming you know what they look like. Either way, down this little entranceway, there is another blood effigy. Normally there are a lot of creatures here, so be prepared if you enter this area. There's another effigy on this tall tower that's somewhat in the middle, connected to the conference room. Now this one's almost out of time, so I'll show you how to actually refill one. Or, wait, one of them actually did run out. Is that the back one? I think it's the back one. So instead I'll just show you how they work. Notably on the right side, you can see all the numbers of effigies, so you know if any of them are out. Now if you come along the walkway, you exit through the back, you'll be able to walk on this crumbled wall to be able to access the 5th blood effigy here, which is about to run out of time, so I shall demonstrate how to actually fix it. It will show up with these redstone blocks. If you break the middle one, nothing happens. If you punch the top one, it gets broken. Punch the next top one, punch the next top one. It has now been activated again for another 20 minutes. Meaning you have 20 minutes of bonus 2 damage, which is always nice to have. On top of that, we have over here one more blood effigy in the back. Warning, there are also a bunch of creatures here, but it's more open, so it's easier to dodge them in case you don't want to immediately fight them. Once you have the 38 damage, then you're able to 5-shot these thralls, bring you into a good threshold to make it easier to fight them. Now this area is mainly about the Slayer, so I'm going to explain the Slayer before explaining everything else. For the Vampire Slayer, there will be the Maddox who's at the front of the area, so you need to go back to him every time you're done, until you actually get to Vampire Slayer level 2. Each Vampire Slayer level requirement gives you additional rift time, meaning you can stay in the rift for longer, and they also give you a bunch of recipes in the same way as a normal Slayer. This is effectively a normal Slayer. Slayer number 1 gives you the ability of a weapon, which will buff your speed and give you health back on damage, along with additional damage to vampires. Now this give you mana and health back on hit is useful because this health resource is used a lot, and you can't exactly just dodge it to not die. Because if you get hit, you lose health, and a gimmick with all of the Vampire Slayers is that they will do health damage over time. They don't do as much, the Slayers don't do time damage, the smaller guys do time damage, but he does a lot more health damage, so being able to heal is very useful. Other resources are this upgraded helmet, saying if you would take health damage, take a bit less, along with giving you an additional health. This will you use your disfigured face from the Seraphine plotline, give you 20 seconds, 1 more health, and the ability. You also need these Coven Seals. What are Coven Seals? That's the main drop you get from killing vampires. As you see with the boss drops, you get a certain amount of Coven Seals every time you kill one of them. The other item in the first one is this Warm Wizard's Face, which only really matters if you progress into the next section, which will be the final section, at least for now. On top of that, we also have Holy Ice. For the next 1.5 seconds, reduce the damage you've taken by 80%. This is a cooldown and a mana cost, so it's not really worth it, unless you know they're going to do a big attack next. This will require a lot of frozen water, so you have to go back if you did not finish grinding for frozen water, and a total of 16 Coven Seals. Now, something I didn't mention previously with this weapon is that it actually requires 12 Coven Seals, but also 12 Silver Fangs. These are real-world equipment. Real-world stuff that you need to bring in from the outside if you want to be able to make this sword. So if you want to have the best chance, go place down some gas minions, or hope that you've adventured enough in the Crimson Isle before entering here. Because this will be a wanted thing. In fact, I haven't done that, so I still have this weapon, even though I should definitely switch. Either way, for other equipment you should use, is you can use the Vampiric Melons to craft a healing melon. Take a bite and heal 7 hearts for 50 mana cost. This is what I've been using to heal, instead of using the sword. This is the only use these melons actually have though, so when you're done, you can instead turn them into Enchanted Vampiric Melon. Why? It's worth more motes than the individual pieces, for some reason. No, I don't know the reason, but it is. Probably just because it's funny. Now, just like other Slayers, it also requires resources to activate them. Here it requires motes instead of coins. To activate phase 1, or level 1, it costs 1200, and you need 360 combat XP worth of vampires. Now, every single creature on this island is a vampire and worth the same amount of combat experience. So if I fight this thrall, it gives me the same amount as fighting any other. This will give me 30 combat experience, making it so I need to kill 12. Same thing with this splatter. It also gives me 30 experience. Same thing with the vampire inside. It all gives you exactly 30, which means you know exactly how many you need to kill. It's always going to be 12 for phase 1. It's always going to be 15 for phase 2. So you just need to kill them. Now there are some areas... Now you can help with other people doing Slayers. I personally just like playing solo, so I don't have much experience doing it. But these Slayers, as someone who does not have much work with grinding Slayers, it feels like these are unique, but I could be wrong about that. You want to be in a flat open area, because I think that is best for the Slayer. I recommend down here, if some people aren't just going to walk by and come in here. There's about 3 thralls down here, which are able to be 5-hit. And this is a nice open area that you're able to fight in. You will need some more experience, but you can walk down when it's the final one. Good news is that the other creatures will not aggro onto you if there is a Slayer boss that has been spawned. Like, they will chase you beforehand, but once it actually happens, then they stop. And they calm down during the fight. Like, as you can see, this one has stopped attacking me. And this new one that just spawned isn't attacking me. Sorry, I'm currently grabbing the equipment, because I don't have it yet. here, this is phase 1. You have this guy who's running around. He drains you for your health. I also have a solver that helps me know when I need to do things. So this, when he gets to a certain amount of health, he will reach Mania. Here he will spawn a lot of red blocks and some green blocks. You stand on the green. If you stand on the red, then you actually lose some hearts, with the increasing based on how level or what level he's at. Once you do this for about 20 seconds, then there will not be another. Notably, it stops immediately after the red. There is no black cooldown period before the next one. So it's immediately time to just hit him with this weapon. You will hit him down, he will drop Coven Seals. And then you can go back to Maddox and claim your Vampire XP. Be careful though, because the previously tamed ones were not tamed because you killed them. They were tamed because they were afraid of their boss, who they thought were going to punish them instead of hitting you. Once you do that, you can now go back to Maddox at the front, assuming that there is another person in the way, which I now realize there's a timer up top, and I don't think I've ever noticed that timer before. Maybe it's because that's a level 3 and I don't fight level 3s. And over here, you can talk to Maddox and get Vampire Slayer experience for it, along with the Coven Seals. Now, boss leveling, it does not show here what level you need, how much experience you need for each level. But once you complete level 1, which is very easy, you get all these resources. Level 2 will give you some extra ones. This is a stake. You stab it at 20% health to instantly vanquish it. This one you need the wilted berry bushes from the farming area, along with 18 Coven Seals. Now, that's what the pop-up from my helper was telling me, saying stab now. It was saying it was at 20%, meaning you can save time. You also have an upgrade to the melon. Same mana cost, same cooldown, but gives you more health at the cost of using your previous melon, and 16 Coven Seals. That's what I currently have right now. And this Maddox Bat Phone. You use it by bringing in a Maddox Bat Phone, which is able to enter the Rift. This one you are able to craft, which I did not know you could craft. I thought you was only given for free, but it's probably because it was joined somewhat recently. By somewhat, I mean last few years. Relatively easy to craft thing. You bring it into the Rift, and it takes 8 of them to be able to create this Maddox Bat Phone, to let you call them no matter where you are. Now, it also doesn't go ring, ring, ring. It immediately calls them, meaning you also get to save time on it too, which is very nice to have. Once you complete here, there will also be Phase 3. Phase 3 is what you actually need to complete this area. This is where the Vampiric Time Charm is. This one requires more of the badges, but also this blood badge, which you get here. It also has an upgraded pants, which you need the previous pants for. You need leggings of the Pact from Wolfslayer 6, and you need some living metal hearts, along with another of these blood badges. Keep this in mind. You also have an upgraded version of the stake, which I previously haven't shown you yet, which also gives you more damage, and your next vampire kill will reward more combat XP. But it's not by that much, because you're going to kill one of the weak ones, so it's not too impressive. This needs your previous stake, along with these Crux Motions. For this, you need one of each Crux that you've previously fought. So, I hope you weren't selling them all too much, because now you need to keep them. So, if you were deciding to build up your modes from this, bad news, because we'll require them. On top of that, you saw I needed 1 for the pants and 3 for the time charms. What is this blood badge? This requires 2 of these Crux Motions. You need a stack of Coven Seals. You need 2 Elite Supremes and 2 Bacti Fragments. So you have to go back and kill the Bacti. You have to go back and kill the Elite Supreme, who's relatively easy to kill. At least I think he's relatively easy to kill. The Bacti is easier to do with a group. And the Coven Seals, which just require grinding, and the Crux Motions needing all the Cruxes. For that, you get 1 blood badge, who's consumed whenever you use it for crafting material. As you see, I also haven't reached even further to craft other resources like the weird tuba that I talked about in the one. So I have these other resources that I have not gone yet, but are just basically straight upgrades to your previous equipment. Also, if you are able to complete it, it will show you, let you right click to learn more. I don't know if this is normal for other sites, I haven't done them in a while. But it shows how much damage it deals over time, and it only to whoever spawned the boss, not anyone nearby. Along with their spectral form, where they occasionally teleport to a bat and teleport around you, and their mania, where they become immune for a certain amount of time, and they spawn circles of blocks, split into 4 rings. I cannot tell the difference between the 4 rings. sit in the safe ring the right time, or take 2 damage. Being outside of the ring, any of the rings gives more damage per second than just hanging out inside. So you can't just wait out that one by running away. There is also phase 2, which is the only one I've completed because it's the one I felt was most necessary, which also has extra abilities such as Twin Claw. Every 7 seconds it launches 2 giant claws. This one is very useful for the Holy Ice because they deal a bunch of damage, but you can just stop that damage. We also have another, I should just show you it. Let me show you it by fighting it and causing it to appear. A good thing to note, as you can see, my time is all the way full because I ran out of time, but the Slayer stays when you run out of time. As you see, I'm still 14 out of 15, which is where I was able to be before I had to disappear. Now, for this, I'm going to go to a good section. Down here seems good. It's just my recent favorite place to grind. And here we will have the boss. They will teleport around, as you saw, with the turning into a bat. My health is going down a lot faster than before, and they cause that to happen. Now, as you see in chat, it says iced to show that you iced the attack. But also to note, the ice now that is set on the screen is only because of my helper. I believe also heal now is due to the helper, but I could be wrong about that. For this, let me do this. And now you just have to wait out the mania, which is this one. And he does say it up top. I did not know that. No. I'm just doing it. Now he's done. He's gonna ice. Do the damage. Okay, now here's the other phase. He spawns these guys, who all steal one of your hearts. You have to kill them, and then wait for the next phase, where they fly up. They show... Also be aware, pay attention to your hearts as you fight them. I was not paying attention to my hearts, so I lost. But, that phase, they make a noise to say that they've locked in where you are. You then leave the area to actually not die to their attack. Then, if you fail to do that, then those things get back up, which is dangerous for you. But that is how, at least the early Slayers go. That's basically all you need to do level 3. Just a bit of grinding from those. You get a bunch of Coven Seals. Now you do have to pay attention to your health, because if not, it's very bad. So I recommend getting the sword that I do not have yet. Now while we have explained how the Slayers work and how to do all the normal things, there's still a lot of Rift Souls to do. So let's go through those one by one. Enigma Soul number 1. Castle Balloons. Pop out the balloons in here using a blowgun. Up here, there is a bunch of balloons on the far side, which if you go ignore the castle and you keep walking past it, you will reach this area. You will need to shoot down all the balloons to be able to make the anvil fall in the chest in the same way as it did in the village plaza. It will fall down, and there's a Enigma Soul that you can now grab. Enigma Soul number 2. Castle Flower Pot. Follow the string of flower pots in the castle. So here's the flower pot. It's actually outside the castle, even though it says it's in the castle. With here being the big entranceway, off to the left is this flower pot. If you right click it, another flower pot will appear. You will follow a chain of flower pots all the way down until you reach this area. Now be careful, there are these thralls who do aggro onto you, so maybe kill them before you actually adventure through here. Let's see here. You see a flower pot, and now you click this one, and now it's floating above the void. Why is that? You have to do some flower pot parkour. So let's hope you are good at parkour, and you're able to jump across to these different flower pots. Luckily, I think I'm okay at flower pot parkour, so I can make these jumps. You just have to keep jumping on the flower pots. Reach over. Notably, that one you can jump to here. You can also right click without standing on it. Same thing with this one down here. That one's less likely to do, so you would need to probably jump on it from the ceiling. Now, as you see, I missed, but the next one is over here, and you will need to follow this, so maybe teleport back up to this flower pot. Teleport twice, stand on the flower pot, and do a little bit more parkour. Luckily, you can hit the next flower pot before the previous one, which is at least nice, if anything. If anything, the speed loss from the pants might be helpful, because you don't overshoot it. Because you do not want to overshoot it while in the void. This will cause you to fall into prison. Which I guess I haven't really shown prison that much, which I guess I'll show right now. Here's prison. You're now locked in the gate, because you fell into the void or ran out of hearts. To do that, there was a bunch of these guards who are not vampires. For them, you have to kill them. Luckily, assuming basically any effigies are active, you can two-shot them. And this will let you be able to actually exit everywhere. Enigma Soul number 3, Castle Fleecebook. Now the problem with the Fleecebook is once it's complete, I can't exactly show you where it is. It spawns around here. You have to follow it up the staircase, even all the way up there, until you eventually, it will go in multiple directions until you eventually, it will stop moving and it will show you an Enigma Soul. Sorry I can't show you as well as I could previously. Enigma Soul number 4, standing there, just standing there in the castle islet. What you have to do is you come back out to this area that has a bunch of fallen things, and in this cubby you will see an opening right in this hole. You'll need to fall down there and you collect the Enigma Soul just like that. The only problem is you aren't expecting it, and realistically the only way up is to actually go down, but technically we can escape, but it's unlikely. Enigma Soul number 5, Fairy Philosopher. There's one selling one in their tower. If you talk to this Fairy Philosopher, there will be, oh, to fairy or not to fairy. Well, it costs 10,000 motes and 32 splatter crux. So you might need to kill some more, or do some more slayers to actually get enough. Then you can buy this Enigma Soul. As an additional thing to note, actually I'll save it for its own section at the end. An Enigma Soul number 6, Between Towers. There's an Enigma Soul floating just above the air. If you connect a silk string, or a larva string from this corner, or this block, around also those blocks, you'll be able to make a string that you can bridge across and break this block on. That is the last of the Rift Souls, but there's actually one special thing in this area. There is, I can't show you exactly, there is a fairy soul. You have to talk to these fairy philosophers, and you have to get this fairy to jump off the building. Once you do that, a fairy soul will appear in its place, and you can now collect this fairy soul. Anyways guys, thank you all for watching. This has been part 9 of doing the thing. Part 10 will be doing the complete guide for the mountaintop. The only problem is, I haven't done the mountaintop yet. Which means stay tuned. Thursday, I will be streaming myself completing the mountaintop. I don't know how long it will take, and I think it should be possible. I've already done some tests, and I see that's going to be hard, but it will be possible. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye!